This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. But I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro.
Good night, Bahamas, and welcome to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I am your host, Valentino, host of the talk show Inside the Inner City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m., except holidays. Telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and you can text us, powered by BTC, at 422-GR96, and you can listen in on Cable Bahamas at 969 on the cable channel. And I want to say to each and every one of you a very special good night, and I hope that we have a good conversation tonight. Basically, our topic is always about the situation concerning the country, how we can improve it, what programs we could put in place, and how we can change the mindset of the next generation so that they can be able to have a great living or a great income. There are many people who are unemployed in the country today, and we're going through a really dilemma when it comes to poverty. And we need to find out solutions. Maybe we have those solutions, but do we listen to the persons who do have the solutions? So we have a very special guest in studio today. We have Mr. Mark Turnquest. Okay? He is the CEO of the Business Center. He deals with business planning. He deals with computer training, corporate training. Am I correct?
Yes.
That's corporate training. And he deals with strategic marketing and management. You can log in on Facebook.com/242 Island Tours. He's the manager and consultant. And the reason we wanted Mr. Turnquest to come in studios today because many of the solutions that the country is facing are actually in our grasp. We have them. You know, and what we need to understand is that where there's so much unemployment in the country, it causes a lot of stress, causes people to make the wrong decision, and then we have a generation who commit themselves to abuse at a young age, violent crime. It ends in people having abusive relationships, and et cetera, et cetera. I strongly believe that if we strengthen the income and the family structure of the individuals living in the country today, I feel that as long as we start to empower them as they go on their journey, life would take its course where they would start to pick up their, morals, self-respect again, what is really right and wrong, and how to conduct yourself as a male and female, in society, and be respectful to your neighbors. We have lost a lot of that, and we need to build the village again. So I have Mr. Mark Turnquest in studios, and I want him to introduce himself to the general public tonight.
Yeah, basically, good night, Mr. Brown. Wow, I listen to you when I have time, but every Friday night for years.
Thank you very much.
6, 7, 8 years. I know you've been in the show a couple of years ago. Well, focusing on the 242, the entrepreneurship program tonight. But at the beginning, It was the Second Chance Entrepreneurship Program
Right.
that was focusing on trying to get the people who are incarcerated to turn them in from ex-cons to icons. I had a lot of good programs geared towards them from 2012, before the pandemic. But Scrooge is a name.
Yeah.
Scrooge, but I ain't gonna lie to you. But at the end of the day, it's though I got a lot of them, like William Lunn.
Yes.
He came straight from prison, straight to my program. And a lot of people other than him who came to my program and they got corrected. But William Lunn and a lot of other people, it's almost too late to save a lot of them, because once they get involved with gangs and violence and other stuff, it's difficult to correct their mindset. Okay?
It's hard to bend the tree.
Yes, and tonight, being the president of the 242 Small Business Association, my cell phone number is 427-3640. I spent all my life trying to get people in business. Every year, I get from 2000 flat, actually 99, I got a lot of people in business, 200 per year in business. Everybody in the markets know of Market Turnquest. I've been on a lot of boards, of the government boards for FNM and PLP. I'm presently on the board of Small Business Development Center. And I was BIC for 15 years. But at the end of the day, my focus tonight, Scrooge, we're having a small business workshop coming up next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks.
At the Fox Hill Community Center, right? And to get a lot of young people and old people in small business, because at the end of the day, you're only as good as how independent you are. And at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie to you, I saw it all, the good, the bad, and ugly. I focus on a lot of successful business owners. I have a lot of great clients who listen to me, right? But I am not at ease. I'm not at ease because I see a lot of young people who fail in the cracks in the city. I see them. I'm not going to pretend tonight, because I don't want to get involved with situations where we pretty up things. Because once you pretty up things...
So they ain't pretty out there?
No, they ain't pretty out there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have a lot of millionaires, customers, but when I look and see all the killings and all the shooting of young men, I changed my focus. As the president of the 242 Small Business Association and the founder member of it, we marched in 2020 to reopen the country. I'm not happy. I'm what I call is, I'm not angry, but I'm not happy, because we need to get the young people, right, to become employers, not employees. That's the only way these young people are going to succeed in life. That 9 to 5 ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work, because I saw it all. I see where they get $10, $15 per hour, the most, they make $260 a week. That can't support them. What they need to do is have something else on the side. So our organization, the 242 Small Business Association, right, what we want to do in the next 2 weeks, Fox Hill Community Center, Scrooge.
Yes, sir.
We want to get every young man, Carlos Reed people, Eric Fox people, Phoenix people on East Street, Dave Williams people, William Lunn people, every flirt and the Bahamas National Main constituents. We want every leaders in the country to do what? To own their constituents. Scrooge, your people and the people. We want 100 people from you to say, well, okay, Scrooge, you bring me in this atmosphere to start my own business. We want mentoring. We want situations. We want income statement, financial statements. We want balance sheet. We want to know how to run a business from marketing, customer service, financials. We want you to help us because we don't want to be susceptible to the authorities to manage our life. We want to manage our life. And it's man and woman, Scrooge.
So this is real independence. I tell people, if you want real independence, you ought to be able to empower yourself, be able to pay your bills. In order for you to do that and feel real independent, you think it's independence when we had, 70, 73?
Yeah.
No, that's no real independence. That's not real independence when you be able to deal with your household and pay your bills and be able to survive by either having your small business or you have a successful income coming in, and that's what being independent all about. Go ahead, Mr. Turnquist.
Tonight, I'm going to put my life on the line tonight because, I'm visually impaired. I'm blind in one eye because of glaucoma, and I'm vision impaired in the other eye because of retina problems and everything. So I only see 50%.
Wow.
So don't worry about me. I cool. I said that they have nothing to do with what I do. I said I cool. Because of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob kept me straight. I'm straight. But I've been through it all. I mean, honestly, I was considered an expert in small business development from when I was 30. So I don't need nobody to validate me at my competency level because I know what Jesus allowed me to and what he gave me. But that's it. Mm. I want to empower everybody in the inner city, the outer city, from Abaco in the north to Nagua in the south, to realize you will never make it in life unless you become independent and own your own small business, set your own direction. Now, there's a lot of constituents. There's some people who have it made because they pay my bills. A lot of my small business owners who are wealthy, they pay my bills, all that stuff, right? But there's a lot of people who can't pay, Scrooge. They can't pay a dime. So I have to go and get them free consulting and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So what I'm asking all the government and non-government organizations says to throw out what y'all have, because it ain't working. Nothing is working. From 1973, nothing worked, period, in reference to save these young men who killing themselves in the streets. Could you see it? And, I came a couple 8 years ago, and it was still going on now.
Yeah, it's just keep on repeating, and it's keeping up 100, 120, and keeping pace. But every year, we're losing like 120 persons, but it's damaging thousands in the country. And this is what is happening now. What is happening now? Happening as a lot of people who have a lot of grief, a lot of mad people out there. You understand? A lot of vengeful people out there. You know what I mean? So we are praying on one another because all of the circumstances when it comes to this poverty,
Yeah.
And because a lot of people not owning nothing,
No.
And we're making so many people desperate because people their marriage because the husband can't be financially thinking about a boyfriend. He can't be the girlfriend telling them, man, you need to go find a couple dollars, or what I could do. I ready to go to give a boy somewhere around the corner, So he get desperate. He go there and rob and hurt innocent people. All this is connected. And all of this is connected, people.
And Scrooge, let me tell you something. The commissioner of police is cool, and I love the police.
Yeah,
I love them. They are our friends, and I always praise them. But don't ever say, well, try to create and say that the murder rate is going to be over under 100 and all that stuff. That's
irrelevant.
That's irrelevant. I ain't into that no more.
It still can be over 100.
It still can be over 100 and all that stuff.
And
we don't need that. We don't need that kind of stuff. What we need to do, Stephen Dean, Urban Renewal, calling you out tonight. Let's focus through everything out there. It doesn't going to work. Mark A. Turnquist, say this. They ain't working. Nothing ain't working. Let's get everybody in business. We got to get everybody in business. Get the young people in business. Forget about jobs. Jobs would not work. Don't get no job programs, and it's good for some people. Let's continue to empower the small business owners in the country.
Mark, not cutting you off. I just want to read something to show you that you're on cue. You're on the right path. Okay. You don't want to knock on the police, which we don't want to knock on the police.
Never.
Because the police are our friend.
Exactly.
But they always give statistics about a certain period from 2020. They show the murder rate, and they'd say a percentage here, it's down here, right? When you look at the end of the year, we still finished 100
exactly.
murders. 100 plus murders, so it doesn't make no sense.
No.
So it is just recurrence. Then
Right.
actually we do the same thing, right? But we still have over 100 murders.
Of course.
Armed robberies, we have rape, we have child abuse, we have all kind of other stuff, rape, you can the list, assault.
Yeah.
I could go on and
on until the break of dawn.
Until the break of dawn.
Exactly.
So I want to read something that shows you that you're on the
course.
right track. And when you say nothing is working when it comes to jobs and etc. Okay, we have a statement from the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Brave Davis. He said, despite efforts, crime rates not reduced. So let me just read this real quick, Mark,
Yeah.
to show you that you're talking the right stuff. I can't see too good, too, so I need to get me some glasses. But let's go. Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis admitted to his administration efforts to tackle social ills have not significantly reduced crime. He said, despite efforts of successive administration, crime remains a stubborn problem in the Bahamas. Highlighting initiative his administration has launched, he said, none have yet produced the, downtrend we would like to see. Our approach must be strong. He said, the budget debate in the House of Assembly, we must send a message to all of the criminal elements in our society that they will no longer be allowed to hold law-abiding citizens hostage, with fear, So
Yeah.
there you go. Now they're
Yeah, yeah.
talking about their initiative. And this is the Prime Minister speaking.
Yeah.
And a few months ago, about 3 months ago, when there were a spree of murders happening, the Prime Minister said, he was frustrated and he was tired, So it shows you that small business, what he's talking about, for instance. Let me explain something with small business. Going back in the early 60s, from the 40s, the 50s to 60s, the whole of East Street and Grandstand, right, was like Day Street, right? I was born in 1974, so I get the last part of this.
Okay.
But there were small businesses from the Capitol Theater. We had the Palm Tree. We had about 20 barbers on Blue Road, about 30 barbers on Blue Road, about 20 bakeries, takeaways, small stalls. We had coconut vendors, we had fishman, we had painted guys, we had guys who selling fruits, and everyone, Mark, Mr. Inquest, was in small business.
Right.
And who all wasn't in a small business was hiring other people to either clean up. So
Yeah.
the money was trickling down from the small businesses.
Right.
So even though there were so many small businesses on Market Street and Blue Road and East Street, and we had the Capitol Theater with the main attraction and then the theater. So the tourists was coming, going to the Capitol Theater, right? Then they were expanding out in the inner city, came to the barber shops, to the little tuck shops, to the little chicken shacks, to the little, etc., spending the money. So the American money was spent into all of these different small businesses, right? And then the small businesses was hiring people who would live in the community. And this money was able to go in the homes. You understand? Those who were handyman had jobs. Those who were cleaners and maids had jobs because the business was so successful, the small businesses were able to hire a large amount of people. So the money was flourishing all around in the inner city communities.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. We have
Exactly.
to reinvent the wheel. Yes.
And basically, as the founder and president of the 240 Small Business Association, our workshop is next 2 weeks at the Fox Hill Community Center, June the 24th, 2022. It's only $15. for anybody in the city who wants to attend. But let me tell you what we want. It ain't about to be a non-profit. We spending more money to host it, than the money coming in. But what we want, because I shift my focus. Because being a successful small business owner and consultant for years, from 2001, going back to even 1999, ain't about the money no more in my life. For years now. Yes, I mean, because they can't afford, a lot of people rather pay Europe and United States consultants more money to give than to pay the local.
Why? Let me just ask you a question. Why?
The reason why?
Why?
It's a black crowd syndrome. I always tell my people, if I put a wig on my head, a white and blue eyes, I'll make triple amounts of money for the last 10, 15 years. But that's not the case. That's how it is. It's just a perception of Bahamian people love foreigners. They love to pay farmers more. They think that we're not competent enough to save them. And I save a lot of small business owners.
Hold on. And that's the biggest problem in this country today. I say a lot of solutions right here in this country.
Of course.
If we have all the people who solve, but you know what happened? We hire foreign expert and consultants. When we could hire Bahamian consultants right in this country, if we give them that same type of money, that money would trickle down and we see more progress in this country than ever. That's the reason why we're in this spin hole we're in now.
But the only problem is, in the beginning of years, it's the black crowd syndrome.
That's what it is.
And you can't get rid of it. I'm not going to become and say FNM or PLP or DNA or collision or collision, whatever. It's not political, but I'm saying to you, a lot of people in high authorities and all over the place, profits, non-profits, love foreigners. And that's a downfall. That's why a lot of my associates in the consultancy had to go to business and seek 9 to 5.
Wow.
That's how it is. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
But what I would like, Scrooge, starting with you. I spoke to Henry Higgins, and he said he's on board because a lot of church owners on board. Because what we want to do is to get in a city, men and the young girls too, you know what I mean? And the men, those men are going crazy too, but the young women, the back of the men, because if we don't have the young women, the back of the young men, we're still in trouble. But we want you, Eric Fox, Carlos Reed, Dave Williams, Mr. Hanna from Phoenix.
Ronnie Hanna. That's my cousin.
That's your boy.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
We want all the doctors who have in the program next week, Thursday, what do you know? Dr. Robert Roberts. We want all the leaders in their constituents. Everybody is owner. Remember, y'all have the Floyd in the Bahamas National Men Association. They had an event down by the Yellow Elder. Was a man named who died. He was such a good guy. They in the park after him now in Yellow. We had a good event there, right? Tom Grant. Yes.
Pastor Tom Grant?
No, Tom Grant was the bird. He was a former coach.
I heard the name before. That's why.
Yeah, but they named the park after him now.
That's awesome.
Yes, excellent. And it was a great event. I met all the Shadrach and Shadrach and all the rest of the guys. All of them. I mean, Scrooge, there's so much great men in this country. But everybody working in isolation. But I agree that everybody come together in that event. So once everybody own their constituents, forget about this and that and isolation and being controlled. Once everybody focus on letting their young men and women in the young area own their small business, you all got to do is set up an entrepreneurship empowerment program that, hey, when they get in business, you connect two things, Kuji. There's only two things you can connect.
Go ahead.
Entrepreneurship competencies and knowledge, that business planning, knowledge about income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, human resource management, marketing, and align the technical skills, air condition, mechanic. Air Fox have that model. You know, Carlos Reed has, everybody have that technical knowledge, car washing. Your Connect, we would, as the organization, we connect the knowledge and entrepreneurship. You all provide the technical people, and all you all do is merge, synergy, provide the technical skills. BDVI has that governmental wise, but make sure that mentoring, you all provide that technical skills along, and we provide entrepreneurship, and they will own for life.
Yeah, because you're not just teaching them business skills, you're teaching them about longevity to help your business be successful, you know, because you don't want someone going in business and then they fail.
Exactly.
Have no profit, so you want to teach them profit margin, you want to teach them how to save, how to bank, how to use the credit card, you know what I mean,
Of course.
et cetera.
The plumbers, the air conditioning, the mechanics, the electrician, all those guys, because if they ain't gonna trade, they can fail in the city.
Yes, it's
That's it. They're gonna fail, Scroogey, because they don't have no backing. So we gotta keep on developing them individually. Scroogey, I'm only here one tonight. I can't come back soon. But as we look at the night, Scroogey, you always was a mind of great diversity. Everybody respect you. But now it's a transition. You know, when I speak to you, it's a spirit. Because, you know, as being a guy in the young days from Holly Campus, my uncle, and I met everybody on the street and all that stuff, and in the city, and I see the good, the bad, ugly. Scroogey was consistent over the years. And you are a guardian for one reason. Because you saw it. I told you that before. I said, man, the only reason why you're here, because you make a lot of sense. Scroogey, let's save these people.
Yeah, I agree.
And it ain't about the money.
No money.
Because like I tell you, $15 to get these people to our event ain't nothing. And they can't pay, send them. We want, if you can't pay to come to the event, Scroogey provide all the information.
Yeah.
Just come as you are. And we will help you get in business. But Scroogey, after we finish this event, we want every constituent leader, Henry Higgins and everybody, and I could call it ETC, etc., at all, whatever.
Yeah.
We want everybody to own your own program. I can't come every day and talk to you all and say, well, I get mentor and everything. But once you start these young men and women in business, Scroogey, you all got to continue. Everything has failed.
Well, you know, for me, you talk about the different foods and you talk about the different fields in trade and etc. You know, for me, Mr. Turnquist, living in Grandstand, I was one who saw the tourists coming in the area. So in my field, I'm dealing with the tourism product as far as business, you know what I mean? Because I understand how the close proximity to Bay Street is. And, you know, every day I live in the community, and it's a struggle for many of the young men and females in the community because they don't have work. You know, many of them ask me, you know, how and find work. You know, I can't on a consistent basis. I might could help one or two now and again, but it's a high volume of people.
Of course.
So what I get to understand is I think back and I look at the wheel, I say, wow, you know, all of my community activism and doing my programs in the inner city community, you know, having positive programs. You know, I seen the progress of that. I seen the success in that.
Yeah.
But then when the success I ain't seeing is the fact that a lot of them ain't going no place. Yeah, they get better with the programs and stuff like that, but you know, they still lacking.
They're stuck.
They're stuck. So when I look at it, I say, what they really lack? Then I figured out. I say, wow, empowerment.
Exactly.
I say, the guys who come to the prison, they always ask me for work. I don't have it. The ladies on the streets who walk the streets who have children, asking for work. The little kids who are around 5, 6, or 7, they're walking around the street asking if they just want something to do.
Of course.
At a young age and this rate, when they put everything to get over the course of the years. So it's good. I had the experience working in there. Because now you know what they need.
Working away.
So I said to myself, wow, come up with a strategic plan for them in this community. I said, have to be empowerment and have to be small business.
I start their own business.
And start their own
let me tell you
business.
something. You'll be working till you drop.
That's right.
I would want every owners of their constituents. They're bad boys or they're good guys or whatever. Establish some type of community section where entrepreneurship, bring the women who want to sew, bring the women who want to do handicraft. I could bring all of them. My reach is long.
That's what I'm talking about.
I could bring BIC to the community city, to the people who can't sew and handicraft and all that stuff. Handicraft and all. Bring them to your community because these guys ain't going out to BIC and others. They get, but you bring BIC and other government. That's it. So have community centers where BIC and all of us, you have the technical skills with the entrepreneurship skills. They'll work. Scrooge. Everybody. Hope Center. You all they have a big building, the college radio area. Everybody buildings.
See?
You bring them to school and say, hey, we know y'all can't catch no bus, y'all get no money for nothing. Bring the government organizations from there to your school. And I will start with you. And I will work with you. Bring the government organizations, the sewing, the handicraft, the processing, all the cooking, all that stuff. In your area, and we provide the entrepreneurship skills. They have the technical and the entrepreneurship, and they will make it.
Now, point. See, I want all those to listen, who are listening, whoever is. See, I used to strategize, and I look what Mr. Tank is saying. So I say, how can I be effective in the community? So I form a lot of different partners.
Right.
But then I look at the history of the community. And this goes right back to you when you're talking about small business. So I'm showing you how small business, what you're talking about, can be very effective in reducing crime and poverty in the country and change the mindset of our youth. Mm-hmm. So I look at the history of the community. We have a Dr. King site, which is the first site out of the U.S. that we established in the Grandstand community.
Right.
Right? Then we look at the Marcus Garvey site on Lewis Street, 1927.
Right.
Then we have Dr. Robert Love, who inspired Marcus Garvey. He inspired Dr. Martin Luther King and Sir Ronald Fox.
Right.
And all four of these gentlemen stayed in Lewis Street.
Exactly.
You understand? So when I look at that, then I look at the close proximity of the community. Then I think back to like when I was young, what I was saying a little earlier. So I said to myself, I need to do something for me.
Right.
Because I didn't ever be into money, but I said, man, I give too much. What about me? How am I going to be able to survive in this community? So I said, let me think of a strategy. So I said, let me come up with a restaurant that is going to deal with authentic Bahamian food that have the tourists come over the hill and they'd stop by me as a tourist attraction.
Right.
Then I look and I say, wow, how can I make some changes in the community to help empower those around me? Because what sense of me achieving great success when I know I'm going to be bombarded with people who are going to be watching me, probably even lose my life
Exactly.
In the community
Right.
because being success and everyone start to blood on me. You say, Sam, because they hungry and they see me and they see me being successful.
Of course.
So I say, you know what? What if we set up where we start to look at the old abandoned lots in the yard, start to put some windows and doors in them, start to train the guys in small business, start to teach them how, use the coconut water, help them build their stall. Right there. That's a coconut water stall. You're going to sell coconut water. You're going to get you your business license. You're going to train your business. And then you can sell your sky juice. You over there. You deal with some Kong fritters. The ladies who talked about look at the trades that are going to be available.
Of course.
They say, I want to do some nail technician. Well, we say, you know what? Let's put you to Mr. Tango, who's going to be available at my restaurant. See, the restaurant is the place where you're going to come to sit down and food is going to be available.
Of course.
And then the training is going to go on.
Exactly.
You understand? So
on the site, training.
On the site. So all this happening in the community because you don't want people leaving out their community to go elsewhere.
Yeah. Scoochie.
So you understand?
Scoochie.
That's what's happening.
My life, I'm retiring next 4 years. I'm 56.
Yeah, you should give up after time.
Yeah, and that's after 60, I said, I'm going to Long Island.
Me too.
And I'm chilling. And I said, I ain't doing no more. I said, but you know what we got to do immediately? And this is what I'm focusing on. We need to establish a program, a Bahamian black program, not a white one. Because we need to focus that our black brothers and sisters are dying in the streets.
Teach them business, ownership.
If we get a model, and we could take that model from where? East Street, Camp Road, Pine with guarding. And we ain't worried about no member of parliament. We get programs. We take a successful model. We take it to each areas of the 38 with our constituency staff from Family Islands. And we put a model where, guess what happened? All disenfranchised young people to use, because we got to get them between 15 to 21. After that's it.
Yeah.
So once we set up a model, Scroogey, and you got to be the leader. I now put you the leader.
No,
you're the leader.
I do my stuff.
And once you're the leader, and once you're leader in that community,
hey.
and once you work with us, with two small business association restaurant center, we entrench that model with you. Then you put that model to every else. I'll talk to all the other guys there, and guess what happened? It's 50th anniversary. We know that independent stuff. That's it.
That's a flam, man.
I ain't gonna say
never
that.
truly know it. I mean,
We know how it is.
It gave us some freedom, but then it hold us back.
But if we don't empower and get these young men and young women,
that's what independence is supposed to be. Empowerment. So we ain't supposed to be having all these murders and all these et cetera. That's what independence was. When we got out of the British, we supposed to be empowered because we said we want to come out of poverty, we want to do our own, so we want to be business owners, we want to be prime ministers, and we want to be doctors and nurses and professors, and that came. Now, and then what did we do?
There's a lot of men and women who didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, a lot.
Because I'm a single home family. My mommy, Alma Jane, she took care of me.
Yes, sir.
All my life. My daddy disappeared. But I did never disrespect my daddy, because you got to love your daddy and your mommy, or you're finished when it comes to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yes, sir.
However, Scroogey, my life moving forward after September.
You just want to get back why you up the last few years.
Yes, and not only that, but
it was a calling inside of you.
It always is calling for small business owners, but I must save the country when it comes to young men and the young women, because nothing has worked. Nothing working no more. Scroogey, there's nothing working. You know, you these words crazy. People get shot. It doesn't affect me because I'm out of the area, but it can affect me.
It affecting you. Let me tell you what it affecting, because you're talking about it.
Because I hate.
Because you feeling it. See, that's the thing
I
right
hate knowing
Mr.
that I deal with a lot of influential people in this country. And the problem still exists. Let us, Scroogey. And I work with you. I come in the streets.
Until I setting up everything is set up. I just great.
And next 2 weeks at the Fox Community Center, I want you to bring your people.
Yeah, I bring a couple of people.
You have nothing to do with money.
I can bring a couple.
It has something to do with saving these young people, Scroogey.
See, like I say, that's your field when it comes to the training.
Yes.
I was widen the
leadership and the mentoring, because we
bringing
respect you.
Information. At the same time, like I said, see, this is the thing too, Mark. I want people to understand. We're talking small business, right? But I want people to understand something too. There are a lot of people going to need spaces to rent.
Exactly.
And they're going to need places to build. So what I look at this whole thing. So when you're in these communities, I want to encourage people, like when you're in this community and you reside in this community, you could look at across the road from a neighbor's friend or old abandoned yard, right? And it has a porch or something. You know, you might want to go to school and be a barber. This is your opportunity now where you could
Scroogey, you know what you do? Let's build. You and me. No,
I just trying to show you something.
Let's build something.
I just trying to explain something to you with all the vacant lots, what could be available for residents. You see?
Let me tell you what I got to do.
A grill stall.
Let's do this.
What do you say?
I have the company, God bless me. They can come and see to develop strategic plans for developing.
We got to help them also.
What I got to do for free? Let's develop a $25 million program.
I'm all for it.
To build a building, a university for the inner city youths.
Watch this, Mr. Tony Quest.
The whole is solid. The whole now.
Go ahead.
Where we'll have an entrepreneurship program tied in with technical. We'll bring BDVI and international donor agencies from Europe and the United States.
All right.
And that's it. Let's do it and let's
Mr. Tony Quest.
let's solve the country. And
Mr. Tony Quest. Listen to this now. Go ahead.
Next 3 years, we'll have that.
You envision that, right?
I know.
Let's say you 1,000% right. Now watch this now. If you look in the urban design book, you see the old city market where the one family jungle group is practiced right now. The same way you say listen, the old city market right down there. Down
City
from
market.
Governor. Hold on.
Yes, that's there.
That's it.
That's a parking lot.
There's a parking lot
Doing nothing.
and a big building. It's in the urban design lab, and what was part of it? It was part of turning it into a technical training center to teach.
I didn't know that.
It's in the. Listen to me. I strategize. Listen to me. When people say I, when I say I, right, I've been blessed with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from the Father to come up with a solution for the country's problem. I live in the community. There are things I could put together with my eyes and envision and see how it could be a success.
Scroogey.
Let me just show you. In 2013, I was contacted by the Office of the Prime Minister. Mr. Christie was the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to do a survey with students from Vienna, Austria on finding ways how we could tie in Bay Street to the inner city community. Also, it was a way to find out how we could empower people with their small businesses. That location, which you see in the urban design lab, was done under the PLP administration and switched over when Minister got in power, the next prime minister. He switched the name, stopped the progress of the program. That city market right there would have been built for $1.2 million, and that would have had a training center with persons like yourself being there, train them, and watch it. They would have been able to sell their products right outside because stalls would have been set up on the outside for. We'd had about 20 or 30 small businesses outside in the parking lot, adjacent to where the one family jungle group is be rushing. We'd had them adjacent there. And you know what I mean? Tourists would have been coming over there from 7 to 5, and we'd have been creating a revenue up in that community where that's what see.
Scroogey, let me tell you something.
Mr. Davis, that's why I'm not working for you.
No, but yeah.
That's why I'm not working for you.
Scroogey, what we need to do, and you and I can work together, and we can do this non-political, strategically, and through our God. Right?
We need to get that building.
That's very important.
We need to get that building.
And whatever we do, right, we need to look at how we need to reduce crime in the country.
That's the way to reduce
and
crime.
And how to empower the young people to start doing business, to be successful. The night is a moment in time because it will establish a relationship between you and me, one way or the other.
It's the reason why we connecting.
It's the reason why. Exactly.
Because this is the time now.
This time is now.
This is the time.
The time is now, and as of tonight, because I have the song going because of my blindness.
You get a few minutes.
I have to leave.
Yeah.
But Scroogey, you'll have a lot, and you and I can sit down and we gonna solve
a lot of issues.
National problem, because we have a lot of people around us who, once we unite together, will gravitate
to
us.
Because they could feel and see and vision it.
They know that the priority. They know we ain't for no money, no glamour, no glitter.
Money could come.
We ain't for
the money, but the Father could bless someone down the line. God bless you with something.
And guess what?
That all's come with it, man, boss.
Because we're gonna bring the young people from stop killing each other. One way or the other. We can't stop everything in life.
No, sir. But we can slow it down and gradually slow down.
Exactly. Once we can make people truly independent.
And then, watch this. Let me give you a prime example of what you're talking about, reducing crime. Okay, listen to this, people. If you develop a community where you have about 20 small business scratch out that one community, right? In a crime-infested community, you get 20 business owners coming together as one on the board, understand the need to work together. You know, the Chinese food store set up where they have restaurant, bar, food store, they have different departments. So when you go to the Chinese, they even have auto parts in some of the Chinese, right? So when you go to the Chinese, there's a variety of different items you could go to Chinese for. But if you split that up in the community where I could go here for my T-shirts, I could go here for my soda, I could go here for my fruits, I could go here to get my hair cut.
Exactly.
So all is the business. So we working together so the money is generating up in there. Now let me give you a prime example. If there's a troubled youth who lives in that area and we are 20 business, we help empowering people in the community, we helping guys start paying guys the minimum wage of probably $260 just to be around the business, cleaning up to make sure no trash, or we paying a dishwasher on $300 weekly, or you think a person who is doing crime is going to be able to function in that community properly?
Never.
They never function in that community properly because we have 20 business owners and we don't want no crime and we connected and make sure this is the solution to solve crime, Mr. Tango.
And guess what? Finally, because of my because I drive and I can't drive after. Let me tell you some Scrooge. The time is now. We will change the world when it comes to us Bahamian youths in the inner city. We're going to change it from the inside out, Scrooge.
That's right.
We ain't need no fathers or mothers who doing stupidness can't bring it. We will provide mentorship. We will remind these people, because sometimes people, the men and the fathers, there's a lot of different programs to help them too. But we want to save the young people in the streets, because at the end of the day, let's do it. The 242 Small Business Association, along with all of you, everybody. But Scrooge, I'm starting with you. You and I will meet every week, starting from night on.
Because they will establish, man.
Zoom and everything, and we will get a strategic plan focused on $15 to $25 million program to save the country. The money don't come from the Bahamas, Europe, United States.
Well,
Pamela's here yesterday, right?
Yeah, and she come to a great relief.
And we're going to send it to her along to you. And guess what? We will save the country between you and me and everybody else. They will come on board.
It's simple procedure.
Simple procedure. And it ain't about me and you as no leaders and
interested.
Prestige. I don't need no money from the young people. Because I straight.
I only want to be
all I want to do is to praise my God of Abraham.
And just give the idea.
And get the idea.
And let the idea come to fruition.
And guess what?
And it benefit people.
Because let me tell you something.
And it will benefit me as well.
I want to leave you with this.
Go ahead, sir.
Synergy. 1 + 1 does not equal 2.
I know that.
1 + equal 50. Because all the Carlos Reed, Air Fox.
That's right.
Henry Higgins, all of David, everybody come together as one. We will save the country.
On this initiative.
We're not stopping.
No progress. We still leaders. We could just bring 10, 15 people, help them train their business, help them set up their business.
Because you all already have the man ministries together on national, right? Let's get together strategically to save the young man and woman, because individually we can't do it together. We all fail individually for bringing these.
We touch a wider group.
Exactly. We need a wider group.
It spread. It would spread.
And all of us have good intentions.
Yeah.
But once you come together, Scrooge, and I thank you for allowing me the opportunity.
Yeah, because I know what small business brings
and
to the country.
Like I said, we had the program a long time ago, but
Second Chance.
The Second Chance. I go to the prison and all that stuff, Willem Lund and Dave Williams and all. But the problem is we don't late, Scrooge.
Yeah, we have to bend the tree before it gets to that stage in life.
We got to get the people young. And
in the schools and all. We have to teach business in school and all.
But that's school.
And trade and agriculture in school.
And we could network with Young Achievement and all of
they have to.
So once they know we're serious. Because a lot of high-class people and government organizations, we're not together.
That's true. But this year, everyone could be a part of it because
after the night, Scrooge, I'm putting my life on the line. And I'm putting our organization, because we are a powerful organization, the 242 Small Business Association. June 24th is the first step. We want all, you don't have no money. If you're going to money still come. I'll let y'all in. We get a business plan together so you can start your own business. Scroogey, let's get this off the ground.
Yeah, man. Just the time.
I'm
getting ready to launch some big important stuff to the community in a little while, and this is for my community, this is for the country as well.
And everything. And I already spoke to everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm happy
Higgins,
for you.
Carlos Reed,
everybody know Air Fox. Everybody know everything. Randy, Hannah, everybody know. Everybody know everything.
Omar Thompson.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you, and God give me the ability to help everybody from a competency level, the intellectual level. And guess what, Scroogey?
Hey.
My organization is NACOP approved.
Wow.
Everybody who come to our organization to training gets a certificate.
And funding.
And funding.
And when you, like I say,
business plan.
If they would get
I given it 1,000 business plan to the government. Say that this is it for this young man who you got to brush him off.
And that's where we can make the connection because we need a small business thing with the government now. We have that in the community, and then they can help sponsor the money just to help probably build a little barber shop or a boot somewhere in the community without running water.
We want a university.
Yes.
For small business use in the country.
That's same old city market. We get tourist attraction and all in the front part.
You find it and we deliver it.
Yes.
We get a proposal together. And
that's it. Because it's close proximity. Thank you very much.
Good night, buddy. Good night, everybody.
You did awesome tonight.
Hey, it's great tonight, eh? Take care, buddy.
My pleasure, Mr. Tankers. Drive safe now. Okay.
And that's why I have to go now before the light.
Yeah, before the light go.
Thank you, man.
We'll be right back after the break. We had Mark Tankers, small business. Most people always want to give back. So we'll be right back after the break on Guiding Radio 96.9 FM.
Boy, I from Dayton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. But I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood. We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too? Of course we can. But we could be in deep trouble if they find out. We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami. So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles. Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal. So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
People, what you thinking? We want something different. People, what you wanting? We want local government. I can tell them no more slunking. We want to see it function. I can tell them no more joking. I forgot. Going down Blue Hill Road, going down Village Road, going down Nassau Road. We want local government. We want local government. Dixon Road, we want local government. Cheddar Road, we want local government. We got call for local government. Sign the petition and find out more information at risebahamas.net.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
la la la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Good night, Bahamas, and to the listening audience. I hope you're having a wonderful time listening to the conversation. But government comes and goes. Prime Minister comes and goes. We had 25 years of Lyndon. We had 15 years of Hubert Ingram. We had 10 years of Perry Gladstone Christie. We had 5 years of former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis. Now we're in 2 or 3 years into this administration of Philip Bray Davis. And Mr. Davis, who himself now is the current Prime Minister, he has good intentions of taking the country forward. But the task is daunting for him because of the difficulties of finding out what is the right program, how to enforce the right program. Right now, when it comes to financially speaking, international business and doing business overseas internationally, you could give the government an A+ because you look at the major investments in the Family Islands. We have Freeport. We have in Chester Cooper's constituency, Brave Davis constituency of Cat Island. We have some major investments here in Nassau, in the billions, could even be close to $1 trillion combined all together. So the Prime Minister and his government is doing an excellent job of getting international corporations to come invest in the country. We have new airports and being built. There's discussion now on a new hospital being built. New fire station on one of the Family Islands, I think, is being built. These are the steps that the government are doing, but are they being very effective when it comes to the most important task is to find how we can empower the citizens of the country. For me, as a citizen himself who analyzed this, and I am looking at it now based on the current circumstances living inside the inner city communities for many years. Has it changed for the good or the bad? I think that it's been stagnated. It has been the same, and we're losing more than ever a lot of talent in the country. And then there's a lot of people who wants to have talent, but they can't find it because there's no way to be empowered in these inner city communities. One, I believe that the government's small business program is a success, because I helped push for it. Mark Twain, I pushed for it, and Kareem Henschel pushed for the small business program, and it's been successful as to get certain amount of people, give them their startup funds, and they're doing great. But overall, you're looking at the inner city, Mason Edition, Baintown, Camp Road, and Chippenham. If you look at the investments or the small business that many of these people receive, who now are on Facebook, showing and they are advertising, on the government page about the small business. But many of them are not from the inner city communities. We're not seeing no barbers. We're not seeing no nail technician. We're not seeing no one who has a specific restaurant, in the inner city community who has been doing great, having customers and etc. So there's the kind of stuff that I'm looking at, we need to have that small business center in the inner city community where it's going to be effective, Small business center, which I think is in the, what building that is now? Anyway, there's a building that is situated in Edmund Moxie, excuse me. I should never forget his name. And his model was what I'm following when it comes to Jumbe Village. That was very successful, down here by the old, where National Insurance is. That was Jumbe Village up in there. And he had the tourists coming from way down Bay Street, coming down there, the Jumbe Village. And he brought empowerment in the Yellow Valley area. Many people who reside in the Yellow Valley area and cross Market Street in that vicinity, taxi drivers, horse and carriage drivers, musicians, performers, everyone became successful. And that was at least 2 miles away from Bay Street. And he saw the vision. Yeah. So, Edwin Moxie. So, it's set up there and by the office of the Prime Minister. That's hectic, man. That's like a BTV outsold the road, and many people want to go to trade, you know, but some people don't have trans, people don't have bus fees, so, and it's like 4 miles away, you know. So in people's mind, that ain't gonna work, so they ain't have no tension on Ville. We need a very, very strong set of people would have the Ville, you know, and those who don't have the Ville, they're gonna be left stranded in these communities, you know. So we need to widen these programs, like government structure with a small business, inside the inner city community, you know. Just like I say, you know, we should have a BAMSI inside the inner city community. We should have the small business sector set up in each community, probably at the urban renewal center or a place that government can reach, or a private firm like Mark Twain Crest who reside in the community, or by Lenahan, Bahamas, and have the small business center set up there to work with helping the residents who are interested in small business to come there, sign up, and then turn them on to a person like Mark Twain Crest to help them manage their money, keep their business consistent, and help improve the quality of service they provide to their customers to keep it going. We're going to take this call on Guardian Radio. Good night.
Scrooge, how you doing, man?
I'm fine. Good night.
Good night, my brother. It's always a pleasure to give my comments on your show. Find that your topic matters are sometimes very, informative, especially when you're provocative, but I like the informative shows in particular.
Yes.
I had to call in just now because I heard you begin to speak about one of the greatest unknown heroes in this country, the one great Edmund Moxie.
Yes, sir.
And, it is sad that not many people, especially our young people, have no history about who this man was, what he represented, what he tried to accomplish in this country.
For all of us right now. For all of us.
And, to be born at a time when I actually witnessed him in action.
Yes, sir.
I heard you speak about the one lost Jumbe village.
Yes, sir.
That he created down by what is now known as BPL.
Yes, sir.
But the actual village itself was actually across the road from BPL, where they park all their vehicles and all of the wiring and stuff that they use on the road.
Yes.
That was actually the site of Jumbe village.
That's Black Village then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, what is so surprising about him at that time, he was actually a visionary.
Yes. He saw the future.
He saw the future of how to bring the tourists from off Bay Street.
And then empower the citizens.
Exactly. And empower the citizens, the ordinary citizens, to empower themselves through the use of their own intellectual talent.
Yes.
Their passion for the craft.
Yes.
And everything. Because back then, walking through Jumbe Village, which I had an opportunity to do.
Yes, sir.
The straw workers, the same thing what you see the straw market emulate.
Yes, sir.
Is actually a simulation of what he had over the hill. And
yes, sir.
What it basically did, like I said, it brought tourists off Bay Street and actually brought them into the inner city.
So he brought the American money. He brought the American money from Bay Street down there.
Exactly. And what happened then is it gave also an opportunity for our guests to actually experience what it is, the Bahamian way of life.
The Fennec Bahamian way of life.
Exactly. Brought them over there. They were able to walk around the village. And, you talk about the people to people. The people to people was actually ongoing even during his time. Because a lot of persons are actually from there using the village as a springboard. Some persons were actually able to leave from there with a few Bahamian citizens and actually go to their homes.
Wow.
Actually partake of their meals. Actually witness the way how our way of life was.
A-B-N-B.
Right.
Yes.
And so we have so much to be grateful to him for. But, it's so sad that, like I said, he's likened to a unsung hero.
Mm-hmm.
Not many persons knew of what he tried to espouse, what he wanted to do over the hill, what was his vision for Coconut Grove in particular. And, he's still, right now today, he's still really not recognized in the manner that he should. And I just want to encourage, one of his sons actually is my pastor.
Mario Moxie.
Exactly.
Yes. I interviewed him one time ago.
Okay. And so, his tradition, in a sense, his legacy has to be carried on because, like I said, he did so much, even in the short span of time in governance, he did so much for Coconut Grove, and he also did so much for the country.
Yes,
so we must lift these persons up and put them where they're supposed to be in the spotlight for Bahamian people to understand that not just the politicians help to build this country, but the average, ordinary Bahamian citizen also help to build the country to the level to where it is today. Thanks for taking my call, Scrooge.
Yes, thank you very much. You did wonderful. And I know you're going, but listen to this. You know that that Coconut Grove was taken from Edwin Marks and took to Miami. Miami. That's why it called Coconut Grove in Miami. We have a Coconut Grove festival. Yes, it was taken. Yes, that idea was concept was took from Edwin Moxie and it took to Coconut Grove. Yeah, in Miami. That's how creative it was. That's how successful it was. We're going to take this next call. Go ahead, caller. You're on Inside the Inner City. Good night.
Hey, good night, Scrooge. What's happening?
Everything all right? Good night to you.
Yeah, man. This is the GNN calling.
The GNN?
Yeah. Jeff was right on. See, the problem we have in Scrooge is that the leaders, the people that we are sending to do our bidding, it's obvious that those persons are ashamed of who we are. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Because you don't go to Africa to see Jumbe Village. You don't go to America to see Clifton Pier. You go to America to see what the Americans have to offer. You go to Africa to see what the tribal people have to offer. And when you come to the Bahamas, like Jeff said, you want to see what the Bahamians have to offer. You understand? Not McDonald's and them. We want to go to Dairies. We want to go to them places. We want to eat what you eat and stuff like that. Now, I almost called you and asked you, what in the world they put in your coffee? Because a lot of these things that our members of parliament are doing, is who they building them things for? Because it definitely, in most cases, don't be for the average citizen.
I know.
Like you say, they ain't putting nothing in the inner city. They do shame of that. Now, for Paul Struck, I hear you mention a brand new hospital, which is good, which is overdue.
Yes, sir.
Because I was on the ward just about a week and a half ago for about 3 weeks, and filthy, roachy, mold. The nurses running you off the ward. The doctors, hurry up, come here before you get sick. You go in for one injury, and they telling you, hurry up, come up here before you get this and
I see, sir, not cutting you off, sir. How many people going in the hospital now with one ailment, coming over to all kind of ailment? What's going on up there?
All kind of things.
You got to be careful. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Listen, for Paul Struck, I worked at BTC for 30 years. I did a very serious stint in for Paul Struck. And let me tell you something. If they think they're going to build a new hospital for Paul Struck, they must think to build that on the bottom of a cruise ship. Because when you see flood tide come and hurricanes come, Paul Struck is inundated with up to 5, 6
feet of water.
In some cases, 6 feet of water from Bay Street straight past Patelco in the back there. So I don't know who these engineers are, but they want to build a hospital in the back there. I don't know what they pay these people for. And I really, really call so they could rethink their effort instead of putting some type of hospital.
5, 6 feet of water.
Them big trucks we had to Patelco can hardly pass when you have one flood tide or one surge or one hurricane. So that's when Thanks for taking my calls.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for calling. The callers did an outstanding job. And, I like you to express yourself on Inside in the City, because we like to have a great conversation, with the callers. But we also like to encourage the listeners to listen to the show that really is dedicated to making changes in the countries. And we bring the right set of people in. We had Mark Tranquest in. Like I tell you, small business, not everyone is going to be able to be successful in small business. But then a trickle-down effect, can be very beneficial to a community. Because what makes in the small business, what makes in the barber shop, what makes in the small convenience store owned by Bahamian, what makes in the small chicken shack, what makes by the lady who braids hair, And all of us go on together. We train together. I just take my direction in doing here. I take my direction in electronics, or I go and I buy phones and I buy TV, and sell it in my community to my neighbors and people who come in the community. So I'm the appliance store. So if someone wants appliance, a fan or TV, well, they come to Scrooge, and that's how we got to work together, because the Chinese doing it, they have all these stuff, okay? So we have to stop people from just going to one-stop shop and go back to where we had a lot of convenience stores. And I say, like, it's a trickle-down effect. And for many of you out there who are listening to me, when you hear me talk about the programs that I've been involved in, and sometimes I be the spare leader of giving them ideas. And you might hear me say, no, I don't mean me personally. For me, I just want everyone to listen to me. I ask God for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And the last thing I ask him for is bravery. And then the last thing I also ask him for on the side thing is, sir, if you could bless me where I could eat a little good, every day. I could be able to pay my bills and still help other people in my pocket. And I get my little trans, I get my little roof over my head. And, if I continue to grow, I get blessed with a couple of dollars so I could have at least $200, $300, or $400 or $500,000 before, my life end. Yeah. So that's what I asked him for, where I could just live, It's substantial to be able to take care of my family and at the same time be able to take care of my community, in my country and be able to contribute to the whole community by coming on the radio and just giving ideas and giving insight and stuff like that. That's my goal, So when I say that, and it's because the Father has blessed me to be able to receive the knowledge so that I could see things and make it manifest, And I just want everyone to know that national plan was already designed for this country and many of the projects that are going on now. I told y'all in 2013, a whole overall plan was done, working with the Bahamas government, Office of the Prime Minister, the University of the Bahamas, the University of Vienna, who are regarded as the smartest set of people in the world, myself, Rosemary Hanna, Yuli Wogus, Amanda Colston, I get some of the people named Miss Jackson, Late Jackson, and his wife, Mrs. Burnside. Many more persons who I kind of forgot who played a very important role in helping the Urban Design Lab become a reality and a plan that could actually change the face of the country when it comes to empowerment. And that includes the cruise port being built. That includes the sidewalks coming down Market Street, East Street, and etc. It includes the Broadwalk. It includes construction of the Archbishop William Thompson Park. It includes so many aspects of it. And it's slowly being shortly implemented in the country, and it's a perfect plan, And it was done under the previous former government in 2013, and then the Free National Movement inherited. But in those two governments, steps by step. So I'm encouraging this government. It was done under the 2013 when Brave Davis was Deputy Prime Minister. Now he is the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and I think he needs to relook at the Urban Design Lab and have people like Mark Turnquest, Carlos Reed, and all the persons who are doing good in these communities, and help them, to look for persons who can start their small businesses in their respective square or community, have them look for a specific old abandoned house or a house that can be rented to turn into a specific convenience store or appliance store or phone store or clothes store or a little small booth where you could do some here, but set it up where you at least have 20 people in that small community get empowered by that community leader who have access to their own program, and they have access to government information like the small business development, on hand. Okay, we're going to take this last call. Go ahead, caller. You're on inside the inner city on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Mr. Brown, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Good night to you. Sorry for taking so long.
That's all right, man. You're on point with the development plan. I think, why can't both parties, the two sides of the aisle, sit down and say, let's look at this plan to see how we can be progressive in moving this country forward.
Yes, sir.
Community by community. Mark was on just now talking about the youth. Do we actually know the unemployment for each community? Anybody did the census to know what are the demographics for, is it youth, middle-aged people, and what is by community, so we can know, and then what the literacy rate is for each community.
It's high.
To see how we can harness, all the things that people could contribute in each community.
Yes, sir.
I'm amazed. I voted both sides of the aisle, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm amazed that they're not making common sense to say, let's sit down and see how we can structure or implement, the development plan. I'm really flabbergasted, the people would say, about that,
You're so right, sir. Still there?
I can't see how people can govern, and now they're saying themselves, give themselves more money that they could assist in the community. But where are the check and balances? We're not saying that both parties made some amazing contributions.
They did.
Surely we're moving forward. And when you think about them crafting laws, if they would let the people in their community play a role in their communities and making decisions, I think even the crime would diminish.
Local government? Yes.
You give people something to work.
Yes.
Check and balances.
Yes.
Why not? Even if you allocate, you say, all right, what are the money we need for being down? What is the unemployment? Where are we going to create employment for these people? And we're going to allocate the money. We got a mayor. We got administrators. We got to hire people. We can do things in our community. And all you need to do is the audit team to come around and
they
allocate the money and do it.
You see the solutions right there, sir? Simple as we just talk about. You talk about local government, yes, sir. And Mark was right there, where he could be the one to send a board in that particular area where the mayor is, along with his panels of people who reside in the community, and they could be able to introduce small business in there and be able to expand in that broad vicinity. Go ahead, sir.
Do you know, Mark, I had an opportunity to invest in a business overseas, and they had mayors for the area where I invested. It had nothing to do with the central government. I sent the business plan to the district where I wanted to invest, and they decided if I'm going to come.
The district governor. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what I want to say. I think we really need to look at it, and I think they're burdening themselves with not letting the population participate, who I think are more than competent to assist with running each community.
I agree, sir.
Yeah. So that's all I want to say.
Well, you said a lot, and you made a lot of sense in the short time you said it, because it makes sense to me. It makes sense to you, and I'm sure everyone who's listening it makes sense to them. Because it's just simple. Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
You did a wonderful job. The callers did wonderful tonight. I tell you, listen to me, BMN people. The solution is so simple in this country. Would it be easy? No. It wouldn't be easy now, but it would be easy to see progress real fast. Because you have funds there. You got a structure like the Old City Market building. It's there. You can look at it and say, you know what? The front part, we're going to put 50 stalls out there. Inside, we're going to put a training center. And we're going to put a Junkanoo Museum in one part. You understand? So that when the tourists come, they could see the costumes. At the same time, you'll be seeing kids who are learning the trade of Junkanoo. And at the same time, they could also be selling their little Bahamian authentic Junkanoo souvenirs or Bahamian souvenirs, with the family islands on it. We have the disabled people who do some of the most beautiful, authentic Bahamian slippers, shirts, pants, bags. The most beautiful set of work I ever saw in my life is what the disabled people did with their hands. The deaf and the dumb people. You need to see their work. And we could buy those from them, have them situated there, and let them be a part of the program also. But what this does, just think about this. The whole city market is there. We develop it. It becomes a mini scrawl market over there. We develop the side corners for people who have small businesses. You know there's a problem now with the scrawl market where they have to take shift, and many people can't coexist because, you know, they're competing against one another, and they basically have the same stuff. And they're clustered together, so they have to take days off. So there was a big dispute the other day. I see the lady by the scrawl market, and she's saying, you know, the government messing up, you know, because they're taking different shifts so that some of the scrawl workers, the scrawl vendors could come in and make money. Some work Monday, then they off to allow the next set to come in Tuesday. See, we wasn't thinking out the box. We going to build a new scrawl market. But we all know that it's in one particular spot. But what if we look through all those arch and them staircase and we put some stalls out there with some hair braiders that way. We put some stalls out there, some people selling what carbon this way. You know, along the whole Bay Street strip. You know, you split that crowd. The whole crowd don't need to be in the scrawl market. Bay Street is big. Little small booths could be set up along the walkway around the whole of Bay Street, even some to the back corner, Charlotte Street and stuff like that, where the tourists could walk and stop. So you don't have to be competing against nobody. The market is too clustered. You understand? So provide a large opportunity for a lot of those vendors to get rid of the problem. See, we don't think, our government don't even think. I just look at it and find a solution. I say, man, the people, all them together, spread them out on the wharf, on the wharf. Look for specific spot. You know, make sure we have nice bathroom set up where the tourists walk in, could have bathroom, because we even need bathrooms down Bay Street. Bay Street radius is be stink of piss, excuse my language, because there's no bathroom. You know, for the guests to stop and they're walking, or for Bahamians to stop and walk. So we need to make adequate bathroom and meeting. Simple stuff. But we need to spread out those vendors on the longer Bay Street. You know, if we have 100 vendors, 200 vendors in there, let's scratch them out, leave 50 in the scrawl market, and then scratch the rest out. Let them pick a spot with what they believe is going to be beneficial to them based on where the tourists walk. Talk to them before and agree with them, you know, and then see if they could work out and give them a location. You know, there's a lot of portable stalls that could be made, that could be locked down, secured, and they could be all along Bay Street, even up to the fort. You know, so the same thing we could do with City Market, and we spread it out through the corner. Some hair braiders on the side, some barbers on the side, some cooks on the side. So when them tourists branch off from the whole City Market, and they come in to the inner city community of Lewis Street, A Street, Taylor Street, or in the Mason Edition area, or around Charlotte Street, in the top part of Benton. Once it's a safe zone, means the community is involved, and there are no abandoned yards. Everything is cut down nice and neat, fenced up, you know. And then we have the safe zone where the tourists are walking off. The people, the residents of the community who would be doing the security work. So those guys who are little bad guys, you know, give them some security work, you know, because money making with all of the persons who accumulate money off the stalls that they're making. So they'd be the help and power some of these guys to be security guards. And these guys would do a tremendous job knowing that they're getting a paycheck, knowing that their cousin owns a stall. So this will change everything about our community. And this empowers, and then money started circulating our community. You understand? And that's how it got to be. And then the money would trickle down from Grandstand, Mason Edition, Benton, all the way down to Wolf Road. And then you never know how the business will expand. Ed and Moxie did it. We did it on Bay Street. We did it in Grandstand. We did it in Mason Edition years ago. We can do it again. You understand? Small business. Like I said, everyone can't be a small business owner. But I guarantee you, if we create 20 or 30 small businesses, find a location, have them build it, rent it, or even purchase it. And have everyone on one queue, selling different stuff, different small businesses, barbers, tea stalls, and brain stalls, and appliance, and selling watch and T-shirts, and the little convenience store, and we could change the tide. The Prime Minister say everything they're doing is failing. It's because, Mr. Prime Minister, you're doing a great investment, probably in the trillions, in this 2.5 years. I think this is probably the most major investment the country's ever seen besides Hubert Ingram. I don't know if you all topped that yet with investments, but I think you all nearly surpassed that. But that's all good. But what about the people who live in the inner city community and people who live outside the inner city community? Who are suffering, can't pay their light bill, can't pay their water bill, can't pay their rent, can't pay the school fee, can't keep their wife, can't keep their girlfriend, because of lack of opportunity, So, Mr. Prime Minister, you said it your own mouth. I think you're a good man. I think you and Chester Cooper are great leaders. But I think that you got to think out the box now. You need people with vision. Before I go, I wanted us to give you all a little insight and show you some of the ideas that we already given to the country, besides the Urban Design Lab, which is the Overdale Initiative. Overdale Initiative is actually the Urban Design Lab. There's a place called Great Cliff. Me and my friend Yuli Wogas, who was helping me, he's the creator of Central Bank. We were by the National Art Gallery about 7-8 years ago. And we were walking, so I was walking, coming across from Government House, coming through the street, heading back to the National Art Gallery, coming from Antonio Roberts, who was also my partner. Walking, passing Great Cliff, there were a lot of abandoned buildings through Great Cliff going up. A lot of abandoned property too. So when I was walking through, I said, wow, Yuli. I said, you can imagine now, if we could just turn all these old buildings into tourist attractions, selling T-shirts, someone's braiding here, and etc. Yuli is from Germany, but now he's a Bahamian. He's married to a wonderful lady, Amanda Coulson. They're natural-born Bahamian who are very concerned and are so very supportive and concerned about what's happening in the country. And they've been supporting me ever since. And when I said that, he expanded that. And when he talked to the owners of Great Cliff and those people, those business owners who owned the property with the rundown and etc. And it made sense to them. And you know what they did? They got together. Now when you pass through Great Cliff, you can see all kind of new stores and stalls right to the one corner. And if you watch the volume of tourists that now goes to Great Cliff, they used to just go to Great Cliff to eat and drink wine and make chocolate. But now, with all those different variety of stores, they're walking on that one strip, and they're going from the one strip down the hill. They're going to the National Art Gallery. Then they're making a right or left. Then they're going down. They're going Long Wharf. They're going to Fish Fry, and they're going to spend American dollars. And they are having a natural connection with the Bahamian culture and the Bahamian people. Yeah. So like I said, the tourists just can't be riding through the communities in taxi and then they're just waving. Like this is a safari in Africa. So I don't know if our governments think we are some kind of zoo. Like I always could tell you, I's an ugly guy, so I must eat the gorilla. All right? So when they pass in the park, they ain't give me no money, they ain't give me no penny, they ain't give me a banana. So they're just waving, right? And they supposed to be, I call them customers. The tourists are not guests. The tourists are customers. And we supposed to be benefiting off the customers that comes in our country. That means we supposed to be having a lot of small businesses, so when these tourists come, 7 million estimate. I think we're going to have 10 million as the highest ever probably coming in the Bahamas. We got 7 million coming. We have like 5-6 ships coming every week. Like I said, I is a ugly guy, so I know I look like a gorilla. I can't make no money. Even the gorillas in the zoo, the tourists, show a banana too. They don't show us nothing. We in the park and all they do is hailing us. Some of my friends look like giraffes. Some, the best looking set might probably be the lion. And then you got some who look like the hyena. I guess this is the tourists in because that's all they doing. If they saying that's visiting the Bahamas, that's all they doing. We have taxi drivers ride through the community all day through the inner city community. All they do is put up their hands. So I guess they say, look at that wild dog. Well, look at Scoochie. That one, the ugly, ain't look like a gorilla. We can't give him no banana. then you get us. So that's what they be doing when they come inside the country. We have to find a way how we can get them to stop. And I come with my strategic plan. And that's my strategic plan. So I hope you enjoy the show. And listen, when they pass, and you all know when the tourists pass, they don't stop. All they do is hail or take pictures. So you know what I mean? Some of y'all, when you see them hail, you know what they like to say, and y'all ah? What is it? I say gorilla. What ugly than a gorilla in the jungle or in Africa? I know. What let me see. What's the ugly critter? But anyway, I know. Well, I think they ain't ugly than me. So I can't even get a banana. But I want a banana. All right? I might even want some oranges. And the only way to get that, if I could get those guys who pass in the taxi. So I got to put on a good show. It's a gorilla. So I got to flex my muscle and get them to stop and say, look at me. And come and turn around and give me the banana and stuff like that. So that's the same way how we get the money or the tourist hands so that I could trickle down in the country and get unemployment down this country. So I hope you enjoy the show. My producer tonight is Mr. Ali Road. And I'd like to say thanks to my guests who left, Mr. Turnquest and the Small Business Association, and he really wants to help. So we'll see you next week on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Enjoy your night, drive safe, and have the most fun as possible. See you next week on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Boy, I from Dayton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign.